Meta's released its new MCP integration for ads, which means you can now connect Claude or ChatGPT directly into your ad account. And it's a complete game changer. AI can now work inside Ads Manager itself without you even needing to be in the ad account. According to Meta, it can do things like pull detailed reports, create and edit ads, build product catalogs, and more. So naturally, I wanted to test this out for myself, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up, what it can actually do right now, and some of the limitations that I ran into while I was testing it. Okay, first things first is you want to jump into Claude, click on Customize, click on Connectors, and then create a new custom connector. Give it a name, and then you want to add in the remote MCP server URL, which you can find in Facebook's news articles, which I'll link in the description. Once you hit connect and follow the authorization process, it's going to ask you two questions, whether you want to opt into your current businesses only or opt into all current and future businesses. I don't want to have to do this process again, so I'm going to select opt in to all current and future businesses. Once you select that, you're going to get to this confirmation page where it says that Claude has been connected to the Ads MCP server. When you go back to connectors, you can then see that your Meta Ads connector has officially been connected to Claude. What I want to do first is just see if the integration is actually working. So I want to ask it to list all the accounts that I have access to via this Meta Ads MCP and see what it says. Okay, it does actually pull all the accounts that I manage on Meta, but it's also flagging that only 2 accounts have the Ads MCP enabled, while the others are still being rolled out by Meta. So this integration is only limited to these 2 ad accounts. So if I wanted it to create campaigns, edit campaigns, or manage the ad accounts, it can only manage 2 of the ad accounts that I manage. It also proceeds to tell me which accounts are in which currencies, so some are in AUD, some are in USD. Then it asks if I want to pull anything from the 2 accounts that have the MCP enabled. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask it to create a new leads campaign titled Claude Test Campaign at $5 per day. It then asks me which of the 2 ad accounts I'd like it created in. I select the ad account, and then it proceeds to create the campaign. Literally a few seconds later, it's done and the campaign has been created in the ad account. So if I head back to the ad account, you can see that no test campaign has been created yet. But if I go ahead and refresh the page, you can see that the Claude test campaign has officially been created and launched on pause. There are no ad sets or ads created, obviously, because we haven't asked it to do it. If we go back to the Claude chat, it's saying that if you want to take it further, the next step would be an ad set. For this objective, it recommends that the optimization goal is lead generation on platform lead forms, but it requires the Facebook page to have accepted the lead gen terms of service. Would you like me to build out the ad set or leave it here as a paused shell? So I'm going to go ahead and say create an ad set and an ad under the same campaign. Okay, interestingly, it's saying that my Facebook page hasn't yet accepted the lead generation terms of service, which is preventing it from setting the optimization goal of this ad set to leads. Even though I have accepted the terms of service and double checked, it's now asking which other optimization goal should it set for this ad set, whether that's landing page views or link clicks. That's okay, so for now I'll select link clicks. Then it asks, do you have an existing image hash for the ad creative? Yes, I'll provide a hash. Then it tells me that it needs 3 things before it can build the ad set and the ad: the image hash, a destination URL, and a geo-target. Okay, so it successfully created the campaign, it successfully created the ad set, but it had an issue with developing the actual creative. It's saying that the MCP's creative tool is still rolling out for this particular ad account, and this error isn't something that it can work around. So it's saying the options for me to finish this ad is to either 1, build a creative manually in the ads platform, or 2, retry this via the MCP later once the creative tool reaches this ad account. Cool, jumping in to check what it's actually set up in the ads platform. So we've got the campaign set up at $5 per day. We've got the ad set optimizing for link clicks, and we've got the geo-target set to the US, which is what I asked it to do. Now I'm curious to see if it can update the same campaign's budget from $5 to $25 per day, and almost instantly it does exactly that. So you can see that the $5 per day budget has now been updated to $25 per day. I want to ask it a pretty open-ended question. I want to ask it to pull performance for the account over the last 90 days. And it's saying that the 90-day window doesn't match a preset, so it'll pull a custom range. Interestingly, it's saying that this MCP exposes trend and anomaly signals rather than raw spend or lead volume or cost per lead. So it can give you the shape of performance, not a clean dollars and leads table. For exact spend and lead count, you'd still want to access Ads Manager. It can tell me though that the account is running lead campaigns, which is correct, across two structures, a prospecting campaign, which is correct, and a retargeting campaign, which is also correct. Then it proceeds to give me a rundown on click-through rate trends across the creative that I'm running. So one creative is trending up on click-through rate and the other is trending down fairly sharply. And it's saying that that particular one needs rotating or refreshing. It looks like it can also pull audience size, so it's saying that the retargeting ad set is delivering to a fairly narrow audience, estimated at around 1,000 people. At that size, frequency climbs fast and creative burns out quickly, which lines up with the declining CTR on this particular creative. So it couldn't get cost per lead trend data. The tool returned nothing for that metric, which usually means insufficient conversion volume in the window or that the data isn't surfaced at account level here. Then I asked it to pull the total volume of leads under the prospecting campaign in particular over the last 30 days. So again, it's saying the MCP gives it trend signals, so CTR moving up or down, but not raw totals like total leads, spend, or cost per lead. When it tried to pull cost per lead trend data, it returned nothing, and that there's no tool in this connector that returns an absolute lead count for a campaign or date range. What it does say that it can do though is it can pull the industry benchmark for cost per lead or an auction ranking read to see how competitive those ads are. So then I was like, okay, pull benchmark data on the prospecting ads. It then says that it comes back empty, most likely because there's not enough conversion volume. The benchmark coverage doesn't extend to this ad account's industry or region, or the same data availability gap that blocked the cost per lead trend from earlier. So the actual lead volume and cost figures, Ads Manager remains a reliable source. The other thing that I was curious about is what it actually looks like in change history. So if I jump in and I hover over the person making changes, it does actually say that this person was using an Ads MCP server. Cool, so that was everything that I tested. Overall, I definitely think this is a total game changer, even though it hit a couple limitations while I was testing it. But as these capabilities continue to roll out, I can definitely see this becoming a huge time saver from an execution and a workflow perspective. But I do think that AI is only as useful as the person guiding it. The strategy, the decision making, the understanding of your customers still really matter. But this just gives advertisers and media buyers a much more powerful tool to work with.